This is why we shouldn't do podcasts, ladies and gentlemen. How are you all doing today?
Shitty. How dare you even ask?
Oh, okay.
How dare you assume I would be in a good mood?
D-
You monster.
Are you in a good mood though?
Yes, thank you for asking.
You're very welcome. How about you? What's your name?
I'm Cap, and I'm
Mom.
keeping a poker face.
Poker Face. Oh, is that a reference to something? I wonder what it's a reference to.
Nothing at all, because I was born this way.
It's like spoiled milk, isn't it? It's like spoiled milk. It's like dated.
Milk.
But more on that later. Hi, what's your name, Mr. Poker Face Singer?
I am the smooth, absolutely delightful Conquest.
Yeah, and I have a normal name. I'm Josh, and I have a YouTube channel called Product Placement Paranoia, which I barely post things on anymore. I might ditch and make a brand new YouTube channel where I talk about, well, live action TV shows. Just fucking kidding.
Well, you already have one that talks about anime.
No, I guess one here. I guess it's here, but I'm thinking of making an anime YouTube channel at some point in time with 0 subscribers, but a lot of dislikes on every video. Who knows?
Speaking of content that rarely gets posted, but is actually much better than Product Placement Paranoia.
Hey!
Go check out Star Garnet Studios on YouTube.
Star Garnet Studios.
Hear my silky smooth voiced over documentaries, and other such content.
That actually gives me an idea. Maybe I'll name my YouTube channel Magical Garnet Girl Studios.
I hate you.
That's
Don't
what
you dare Studios thing.
That's
If you
that actually exists, by the way.
If you want somebody who actually posts content on a fairly semi-regular basis, my channel is The Automatic Machines, which is my musical side project. So be sure to check that out because I actually have videos.
And music too.
Well, yeah, videos of music videos.
Music and videos. Go check that one out.
Porn. He uploads PMVs.
Wonderful.
Hey, there's nothing else I can say.
Nothing else I can say. But you were born that way.
Speaking of softcore porn, though, and the applause that generally follows the end of porn.
You've been watching lots of porn?
Hey, do what you want.
I've been watching a lot of fuck, I don't have a pun anymore. God damn it.
You've been watching a lot of porn. We get it. We get it. This might be just want to say something right here, but I'm like one of the few men in the world who doesn't really watch porn like at all.
Wow, you're one of the few men who are liars. Cool.
No, I'm serious. I mean, yeah, I lie right through my fucking teeth most of the time, but this time I'm like being serious. I don't watch porn.
You and porn have a bad romance?
Well, not really. It just wasn't really my thing. I mean, I usually don't need porn to, like, leave me satisfied, or to help me
satisfy yourself or another person?
To help me satisfy myself.
So you could just dance on your own?
Just release. Yeah, all I just have to do is imagine things in my head, because I have an amazing imagination, and there you go.
Are you imagining a girl raining on you?
I just have this sweet, sweet release.
You don't enjoy the love game?
But, okay, enough Lady Gaga puns, but I just wanted to say, like, I don't watch porn. That's crazy. I mean, I have looked at a couple videos, but never when I pull it out. This is going to be fucking age restricted, isn't it? God damn it.
Oh, if I keep talking about raining on you, keep talking about porn.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, raining.
Fuck. Shit,
ew,
piss,
gross.
Fuck, cunt, cocksucker, motherfucker, tits, fart, turd, and twat.
Oh,
I prefer twat, actually. I blame Yahtzee for that, but I like the word twat more than twat. I like...
Shit, piss, fuck, cocksucker, motherfucker, and tits. Those are the 7 words. I'll curl your spine. I'm not George Carlin, so I'm not going to continue.
Yeah, no, I was saying, now we're gonna get a copyright fucking takedown from the Carlin estate.
I do not
I
sound
love
like
I love
Watch.
twat though. People should say
We
twat
don't
instead of
care.
twat. Twat is funnier.
We know you love pussies.
Yeah, I love the twat. Is that what pussy is? A twat?
Oh, actually, no.
Oh.
You sweet summer child.
I love the vaginas though. Vaginas are
Your
hot.
asshole is how people with their taint.
I still need to be satisfied by one, but you know, this is more about me than.
I'll admit on air.
Oh shit,
I'll take
we're on air. I
on
forgot.
air.
I just realized I gotta cut this shit out.
You don't see the big recording sign?
No.
It'll fill time.
I'll take shit you don't admit on a podcast for 500, Alex.
Yeah. We should do a segment
Now
called "Shit
for
You
500,
Don't."
Alex.
I'll take demonetized for 300, Alex.
Rest in
take
peace.
An anal bum cover for 200, Alex.
Rest in
I'll take
peace, Alex
500.
Trebek. We love you. We love you, Kevert Zella. Thank God Family Guys is still a thing.
Fucking tip for 3.
I watched an episode of Family Guy making fun of Taylor Swift, and I was like, oh, is it going to do the thing where Taylor Swift goes out with a boy and breaks up with him and writes a bad song about him? And lo and behold, I was correct.
I'll take irrelevant anecdotes for 500, Alex.
It's
What are we
not
doing
irrelevant. I was just stating a fact.
What are we doing here, guys?
We'll take completely
we're
unrelated tangents for 500.
We're doing
Alex.
a whole bunch of shit.
Bits. Just
I'll
rapid
take
fire.
shut your fucking mouth for 1,000, Kebert.
So, anyways, that we're completely derailed. Did somebody say Lady Gaga at some point?
Yes, it was
Once
me.
or twice.
A bunch of puns?
We did make a bunch of puns, but we should probably stop with them and talk about Lady Gaga's newest album. Do you want to call it newest, or?
Would that be her album in black and white or her album in Chromatica?
Oh,
it's the one in Chromatica.
good one. Yeah, I'll pick Chromatic over black and white. Black and white's boring. Ever seen Casablanca? Boring.
Worst romance story ever.
Have you?
Yeah. It's a bad romance, that's for sure. I guess we weren't done with the puns yet. Sorry.
Hate you both. I want
So-
to know, truly, with all my heart, hate you both.
I hate you too. Captain, you wanna... This is your thing, or whatever?
So, Chromatica is Gaga's 6th studio album, if you count the one she did with Tony Bennett. It came out in May of 2020, which pains me to say that because it is now 2021. Originally, after slated being...
I heard a bit of Cheek to Cheek. It sounded pretty good, but, you know, I'm a sucker for jazzy stuff.
It's not bad. I mean, you know, it's classic staples from the Great American Songbook. But I mean,
Yeah.
it shows off her chops as a singer because Gaga is an amazing singer. But it's not Gaga. Cheek to Cheek's more like Stephanie Germanotta than Gaga.
I don't care if it's Gaga or Cuckoo or Goo Goo Gaga or whatever the fuck it is. It still sounds like a good voice. She has a very good singing voice.
She, as a matter of fact, she does. She also does a great job singing with Metallica at the Grammys like 2 or 3 years ago.
I never heard her sing with Metallica at the Grammys, but that's because I don't
would
watch the
recommend
Grammys.
checking it out.
It did Moth the Flame. It was decent.
I would not.
It was amazing.
I would not check it out because it's the Grammys, and the Grammys can suck a fat fucking cock.
It's on YouTube, and actually the superior version is on YouTube because they forgot to turn on James Hetfield's fucking mic.
Oh God, let's not talk about that, shall we?
Yeah.
Can we go back to the album?
Yeah. So Chromatica is
First
an
album's
album.
with, Star Born and Joanne and Art Pop.
No, let's not talk about Joanne either.
Yeah.
So
I like
I'm
Joanne.
glad. I'm actually glad that you agree with me on Joanne Captain. I think that album is to
I understand
to put
what
nicely.
she was trying to do.
Yeah. I just want to put it nicely and say that Joanne is an album for people who are not concerned about the complexities of life.
I mean, it had complex. It was a folk album. It was a pseudo folk country somewhere in the middle album, and by its own merit, it's
Ooh, I love me some country. More like cunt tree, right? Cunt tree? Tree that grows cunts?
Yeah, so funny. Not a joke anyone has ever made before.
Yeah.
she's allowed to explore her artistic.
Was it artistic or was it just pandering bullshit?
No, it definitely wasn't pandering. It was panned critically.
It was a.
Yeah.
I would say it's like pandering bullshit to like pretentious hipstery douchebags
Is
of
it
the world.
pandering or is it hipstery? Yeah, pick one, because hipsters don't pander.
They pander to hipsters. I'm saying, like it's trying to be this.
Though.
Like Joanne's trying to be like this artsy kind of album where it's simplistic and minimalistic, and it just sounds
simplistic. These are kind of complex,
and it's just slow and boring.
Very artistic.
Fun fact:
as far as albums go, I prefer Joanne to art pop, hands down.
Okay, fun fact. Million Reasons, the hit single from Joanne, is currently in my bottom 10 songs I've ever heard in my life.
What hit single?
It's definitely in my bottom 10, that's for sure.
Well,
And I've heard a lot of bad songs
Perfect
in my life.
Illusion was a good song. Perfect Illusion is not indicative of what's on that album at all.
Illusion's good, Dancing in Circles. Fuck it, I like John Wayne. It's kind of questionable as far as
The message
Like
and
better.
but that doesn't make it a
who
bad
she is as
song.
a person.
Just the Other Day, Grigio Girls, Angel Down.
If I had to pick three songs, I would pick Perfect Illusion, John Wayne, and Dancing in Circles. But
Million Reasons is pretty good. Sinner's Prayer.
I would pick 3 songs off of Joanne, and that would be Nothing, Nothing, and Nothing.
Wow, you're being a contrarian again. No shot there.
actually,
that would
that's a lie.
actually-
There's another song on there. What was it called? What was it called? Oh, Come to Mama. It was co-written by Father John Misty. So,
If she wrote a song called Come to Daddy, come spelled C-U-M, then I'd probably listen to it.
no, that's a Megan Thee Stallion song.
Also, just
It's probably a lot better than
Quiet Riot level title.
fucking Joanne. Can we talk about something good, please?
Joanne.
Return to form after Joanne, 90 style club beats. It features 90 style club beats, but instead of telling people to just dance or that she wants to dance under disco stick, the lyrics primarily have a more introspective focus, featuring themes of anxiety, rejection, and depression.
Yeah, it like focuses on like mental health and stuff.
Yeah, mental health, depression, issues with
Depression.
fame.
Maybe drug abuse. Would drug abuse kind of suffice?
Alcoholism, probably.
Or yeah, maybe alcoholism. It's hard
Yeah,
for.
I'm not really sure that.
I don't really focus too much on the lyrics of songs. I just want them to sound
I don't
good
know.
on a technical level. So when it comes to this album, I'm going to be focusing more on the musical fronts of things instead of like the lyrical senses.
Just felt kind of out of touch with the times, I guess.
What you mean, Chromatica?
Yeah. If I'm being honest, I mean, I've been trying to be nice this whole time. It feels like a Lady Gaga song from 2008, but this time being sung by a 50-year-old.
I disagree. I mean, it's
Yeah, I heavily disagree as well. It's definitely
You really
not.
don't think coming from a more biased standpoint.
No, but like the album on a technical level sounds much more professional than her earlier
check my
work.
bias. I have been a huge Lady Gaga fan since the fame. I saw her in concert once, and I wanted to see her again, but she didn't come back here. But I am a huge Gaga fan. I feel like it's a party I wasn't invited to, but I showed up to anyway.
Yeah, I'm kind of indifferent on Lady Gaga. I mean, I really did like her outing in the earlier years and up until Art Pop, which a lot of Gaga stans, the monsters they call themselves, consider that to be Lady Gaga's best album. And I think Chromatica might actually top it or something. Does it top it?
Oh. God, no. God, no.
Well, you don't
I
like
don't
art
think
pop,
she's
so
had the repeated
I like art
success.
pop. I never said I disliked art pop. I just said Joanne is better than art pop.
yeah, I see. Tasteless asshole. Sorry.
Man,
The
you're
album
one. Jesus
features
Christ.
interludes,
Call
which
him
is a
that.
first for Gaga.
The interludes. I like a whole bunch of different genres of music, but I always have my favorites. Rock and metal, obviously, but if it weren't for those two, then probably electronica and music that follows along the lines of something that's orchestral, orchestrated. And I thought within the interludes, the orchestration was well done. I don't know what they mean specifically. I don't know if that has anything to do with like.
All music is orchestrated.
I saw
Well,
them
yeah,
as like
I mean like
preludes.
but
Do
you
you
know,
know
I
like-
mean like with.
Orchestrated means?
They set the mood for like that section of songs to follow. I feel like.
What
I
are
guess
you
I
trying
mean
to-
orchestration as in like a symphony orchestra or something.
So,
That's what I meant. I meant to say.
symphonies span several hundred years worth of music. I'm just confused as to what you mean.
Well, I told you what I mean. I meant like a symphony orchestra where a guy is waving his little wand around and making like people
Yeah,
with the
but again,
trombones, the
that's-
violins, the
Trombones aren't a
whatever the
part of
fuck.
an orchestra, and that spans about
Oh,
500.
okay. yeah. I'm
That
not
mentor
a
to
huge
it, guys.
expert on orchestras, so.
So I actually disagree with the old lady. I feel like her vocals get better with time.
Yeah, I think
I-
they sound just as good as they did on art pop.
Her vocal
She
sounded
portrays
bad.
a wide.
She's
She
singing it.
portrays
Kind of.
there's a wide swath of emotions, and I mean, she really like she comes to play.
I don't
You
know
know
if I
what
got
else?
emotion from it, but I did get something out of it. I mean, her music was definitely. I'm not like the hugest fan of her voice, but I do enjoy like the instrumental stuff in the background.
I mean, her voice has a great dynamic to it. I mean, she can, do the sing-songy, but then she could really put balls on it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
I heard a lot of her falsetto in 9/11. I mean 911. Sorry.
She's been technically talented since 2008. The point being, what makes this album better than anything else she's ever done? Why is it better than Joanne or Art Pop or The Fame Monster?
I can tell you a million reasons, a million reasons, a million reasons, a million reasons on why Chromatica is better than Joanne.
It's more
And
intimate.
And I just gave you one of them.
I don't think you like The Million Reasons because I kind of think it went over your head, if I'm being honest.
Good one, good one, good one.
And
Yeah, I sure love hearing that a
on
bunch
a
of times.
12-song album.
It was about her relationship with Taylor Kinney and how she was willing to quit everything for him. All he had to do was say, "I want you to quit everything," but he couldn't commit to her like she wanted him to.
Yeah, that's fine and all. I just wish it wasn't so
take
fucking
of A Million
repetitive and
Reasons.
annoying and
But
boring.
A Million Reasons is not on this. A Million Reasons is on Joanne.
Yeah, which is the
Bring me
worst
back to that
Lady
point.
Gaga album
Why is
ever
Chromatica
made
better
in the
than
history of the
any
world.
album released?
You guys are talking over each other. One at a time, please.
Fine, you go first.
Giving you silence so you could go.
Yeah, well, now I'm giving you the silent treatment.
Talk then. So, with Joanne, I will admit that is a far more intimate and personal album, but that carries over to this with it's the same intimacy and personal issues, but put back over the 90s club beats of her old style,
Do you
creating
notice-
a great mesh.
Do you notice that a lot of mainstream pop artists say, "Oh, this is our most personal album yet," but it's always fucking bullshit. And then they put out another album and they're like, "Oh, this is my most personal album yet," and again, it's bullshit. And I felt like Gaga did that with Joanne.
Josh's argument is proving mine for me because Joanne is easily her most personal album, period.
No,
Hands
it's not.
down. Yes, it is.
It's her most
You've
boring
heard one-
album. I'll
You've heard
argue
one
that
song
till
from
the
Stop
day I
Calling It
die.
Boring.
But
Period. You've heard one song from it, bud. One song.
what? Is it personal because it just shows her in a cowboy hat instead of her in weird skimpy outfits or her as a motorcycle?
Josh, have you seen the documentary Lady Gaga 5'3" on Netflix?
I don't believe I have. No.
Highly recommend it. It really gives you an insight into her mindset when she was recording Joanne. But guys, we're talking about Chromatica here.
Yeah,
Captain and I
sorry.
both
Just my
like-
hatred
let's-
of
let's
Joanne
put this
just
down.
boils in my blood.
His hatred of Joanne is based on one goddamn single. Let's just lay something out.
And
between
John
the two of us.
Wayne. Like, John Wayne's a completely backward
Okay,
song for
whatever.
Lady Gaga, especially with her political stances and shit.
Whatever.
Also
Let's
doesn't
just-
sound good. It's like, what is it, that Ed Sheeran song with Bruno Mars and Chris Stapleton. Chris Stapleton? Is that how you say it?
Can we let Conquest talk for a second now? He's got
Sure,
some points
sure.
to make.
Okay, fine. Make your points, Condick.
Real quick, he's talking about, at best, the two singles of the album. Can we just establish a baseline, say Joanne is more of a personal album, more of an intimate album than Chromatica, just as a baseline, so that we have something to agree on as we debate pros and cons and whether or not we feel Chromatica is better. Because I feel like at this point, nobody's calling Chromatica a bad album, it's just whether or not we consider it her best album.
Say that it's a better or worse than Joanne. I consider Joanne an outlier, kind of like Saint Anger, minus the awful instrumentation.
Yeah.
Even in terms of, like, we're not talking about trends of discography, we're not talking about trends of anything else, we're just talking about quality of albums. Just as Lulu and Saint Anger both count as Metallica albums, and we have differing opinions on those, and they're obviously both outliers, but we're not going to talk about them as outliers, we're just talking about them as albums. Not necessarily talking about the trends of the artist, because Lady Gaga is an artist where if we're talking about the trend of her music, it's kind of already going to be a reductive argument. She's had a ridiculously diverse discography, so it's not really fair to call one album or another an outlier when she's been so
Fair enough.
Pumping blood.
diverse. I hate to read the word, the only word I can even think of. So just on a baseline, can we agree that Joanne is her most intimate album?
No, I won't agree.
No,
I mean,
But to be fair, I don't consider any of her albums intimate, but, you know, that's because it just sounds like
yes.
pop fluff to me.
I mean, that's a slight agree.
it's hard to say because they're both, again, I'm not saying that Chromatica is not intimate. I'm just saying, as a baseline, Joanne is her most intimate. Because I feel that's a statement that cannot be argued against.
Well, Chromatica isn't entirely intimate. It's just more, I don't know, proficient.
Doesn't really pay attention to the lyrics. It's actually
It's an
I
improvement,
mean-
is what I'm saying.
well, for me, objectively,
It's a
being objective, Joanne is a solid album. It's not for me. I don't really particularly like the folkiness of it, but I feel like
fine.
Joanne.
I'm talking quality right now. I'm just talking intimate. Because we can talk quality in a second. I just want to establish that baseline. Just because that baseline is required. Because otherwise, we're just going to be spinning our wheels all day. I can already tell we're not getting anywhere until we establish this baseline and start talking about Chromatica based on its strong suits.
All in all, I really liked Chromatica. I'll just
Joanne
say
is
that.
intimate in a different way. I feel like Joanne was her dealing with losing her aunt to lupus,
damn it.
and it was her lamenting over her failed relationship and her trying to find the right relationship.
Great. Just what we needed.
And, you
Another
know-
fucking album about relationships and dead people. I've heard so many of those.
Okay then. So
Yeah, I
album
know.
of all
I'm pretty.
time
I'm pretty.
Was about relationships. If there was no albums about relationships, we wouldn't have Rumors by Fleetwood Mac.
let me put it to you this way: what do Mick Fleetwood, Keith Richards, and John Lennon all have in common?
Mountains
They're
of
all
Cocaine?
dead.
No. 1 out of 3, dude.
Oh shit. Sorry.
Broken hearts and long careers. There's nothing wrong with an album about heartbreak and about dealing with loss and about dealing with
Yeah,
suffering.
some of the greatest songs were written about loss and heartbreak.
Yeah, I guess that's true, but like, you know, it's
Fade to
kind of
Black,
become
Nights in White
so.
Satin,
It's
The
just become
Chain.
oversaturated now. Like how you like something when it first came out, but then they just kept doing the same thing, adding little new,
They are
innovative, original
Why are
ideas
you
to it. and it just
You know, like, you don't
becomes
relate-
so
why are you
tired
Chromatica?
and
Are you freaking Chromatica because you didn't listen to it?
what?
It's Joanne, I think.
Yeah, I mean Joanne, not Chromatica. I did listen to it.
Okay, so back to Chromatica.
Yeah, let's
it
talk
also
about it.
featured several guest singers, including Ariana Grande on Rain on Me, Blackpink, the K-pop band on Sour Candy, and Elton John. I'm sorry, Sir Elton John in Sign from Above.
Okay,
I
the
noticed.
only song that's of any real. The only one of the songs that's actually artistically valid, in my opinion, is "Sign from Above," because "Sour Candy" and "Rain on Me" are obviously studio creations.
Oh yeah, they're
Yeah.
definitely
Not bad songs, but I feel they're a detractor to the album because they don't fit in with the rest of the album as far as theming goes. "Rain on Me" you can kind of argue, but "Sour Candy" has nothing to do with the rest of the album.
Sour Candy sounded a lot like that song Katy Perry did with Nicki Minaj on what's the album? I forgot the name of the album. It was after Prism.
Talking about fucking not Roar, but the one that she did with Jesse, whatever the hell. Right?
It was
Ariana Grande.
Swish,
I think
Swish, I don't know.
Swish Swish. Yes, that's what
Oh.
Sour Candy sounded like,
that doesn't even sound close.
except a little bit
That-
better.
No,
I think I'm talking. I
Swish,
think it's
bitch,
more of the.
another one in the basket. That's not even close.
I'm talking mostly about the beat, where it kind of has the same sounding type of beat as Swish
I'm
Swish
wondering
did
if,
after the Swish Swish Swish.
Because most of these songs
Except
were produced
Sour
by
Candy
the
sounds-
producer Blood Pop, who's fairly hot right now.
Except
and,
Sour
the-
Candy
the-
sounds way better. Just want to throw that out there. Oh, who's the producer again?
Blood Pop.
Oh, I should check out more of his shit because sounds
He's
pretty good.
pretty prolific, fairly prolific.
Oh no, I just like the beats of a lot of these songs. I don't particularly
admit
remember
that
them too much, but
Sour
from what I heard, I
Candy
do
and
like
Rain
them.
on Me were definitely bubblegum singles, made for radio airplay.
Rain on
They
Me
all
was
clock
probably
in
one of my
at-
least favorite songs off the album.
Around 3 minutes.
Okay. Sour Candy doesn't even hit. Sour Candy's 2.5 minutes long.
Yeah, that's definitely radio / TikTok friendly.
The entire album is made shortened. That's part of my problem. The entire album feels more corporate than anything else she's done since her early years. The entire album feels much more catered to the streaming world, which I thought fucking Lady Gaga was above.
You know,
I was kind of hoping she was past that.
yeah, I feel like with Lady Gaga, she just went back to doing her old shit, except with a more updated sound. And-
The lyrics aren't clubbing, Let's Dance or Just Dance, Money Honey,
No,
Paper
it's-
Game, it's
with different
It's
lyrics.
conveniently on what the mainstream audience is listening to. The mainstream audience is listening to club-friendly jams that are fucking about more serious things. Earthbed was #1 a couple weeks ago, and that was very obviously meant to be club-friendly. I know this because I heard it in a bar the other day, and it's a song about a dude dying.
what song?
Deathbed.
I don't know that song. I
Stay for too long, don't go to bed.
I need to get the song out of my head. I need to get the song
I've
out
never
of
heard that
my
song.
head.
Incredibly popular pop rap song that essentially pulls an Eminem and just steals its hook from an older song. And
Actually
it sounds-
reminds
like
me
that,
of
Cup of Coffee song that was making its rounds last summer.
yes.
That basically stole the
I need a cup
fucking
of coffee.
Stan.
Yeah, they pulled a stand. They stole the bit from it, or not stole. I mean, it's licensed, and the artist is the featured artist. But yes, it's the same thing where it's a rap song with the hook from that song.
You know, I didn't get much from when I
Radio
heard
a lot.
that song. It didn't really remind me of Eminem Stan. It reminded me more of an artist that you may not have heard of. But the song is called "Let It Go" by Kyle Coglator. I think his name is Kyle Coglator.
I never heard it, but that doesn't change the fact that Eminem's
Yeah.
entire early career was built on making his hooks his hooks were just popular songs.
Well, not all
that,
his
like,
hooks, but
As recently as
some of his more popular songs, I guess.
Berserk. Because Berserk was basically Strokin' and
Fuck
Just
yeah.
One song from fucking I don't remember if it was on Revival, but it was one of the two albums, and it was fucking The song was just "I Love Rock and Roll" by fucking
Right.
Yeah, remind me.
And he did that with fucking Dream On too for Sing for the Moment.
Your booty
I guess
is
he does
heavy
that
duty, like diarrhea.
frequently.
The point is, we're getting off topic. The point is that there's a rap song that's on the charts right now that does that same bit, and that was in a club the other day. I heard it. I know that's like anecdotal, but I heard it. My point being, if
Fair
I'm
enough.
hearing it in clubs, it's starting to become a trend or has already become a trend. I feel it's already a trend, which means
Kind of started out with that stupid ass suicide song.
I need to bore.
Trend.
I need to say it's boring. It's a boring song, that's for sure.
radio signals have more deep meanings. They have more deep topics. That means that Lady Gaga rather. That means Lady Gaga isn't setting this trend. She's following the trend. She's not doing something new. She's doing something that everyone else is doing. Every single song on this album is streaming friendly. There is not a single song on here that cracks 4 minutes.
It sounds like she's
To her
just
credit,
doing.
she's never really made long.
Well, actually,
songs.
that's not true. Sign from Above is the song that cracks the 4-minute mark.
Well, that's also probably the most.
37-second fucking Blackpink featuring song in length is fucking Just Dance.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. She's not creating any trends. She's just following them. But I think she's just following them from her own book. I don't think she sounds like all the other mainstream pop artists out there.
On
But
the topic of sour candy and recycling stuff, did you guys notice that the melody for the hook in Sour Candy is also the same melody for Shallow from the fucking Born to Be a Star soundtrack or whatever, which is the same hook from Diamond Eyes by Shinedown from like 10 years ago?
I don't know that Diamond Eyes by Shinedown, and I
I'm
barely
hot on
remember
the
Shallow.
outside, but which is the same. I'm on the deep end.
Yeah, they're really close. But going back
And
to
then-
the Fame
Doesn't
Monster,
sound familiar to me.
it's very important. Going back to the Fame Monster, Bad Romance is a 5-minute long song. It's 4 minutes 54 seconds. Telephone is 3 minutes 40 seconds. Just Dance is 4 minutes 2 seconds. Poker Face
Really?
is 3 7 seconds.
They don't even feel that long.
You know what? Shorter can be better.
I knew that you were going to say that, and that's why I went back and double checked the times. I'm on Apple Music right now. I just got those exact times on there because I wanted to double and triple check, because I promise Chromatica is following trends, and I feel that is a detriment to her creatively.
Well,
She's definitely not
I
going to be
don't
any
think
Pink Floyd
she
with
has
23-minute
much
songs, but-
creativeness in her
She
bones
dropped
anymore.
2 minutes on her radio singles.
I mean, to be
You can't tell
honest,
me
she's
that
kind of
her
old
influence
news now,
is
right?
part of- Yeah.
I mean, Lady Gaga is basically old news, so all she can do is just
Joanne was a success.
No, it
Maybe
wasn't.
not critically.
The only
Really,
reason
yeah.
why it
Commercially,
became
it
a
was pretty
success
good.
was because she played that shitty Million Reasons song at the Super Bowl. That's the only fucking reason why that album went as big as it did. When it came out in 2016, no one gave a
Huge.
single
That
shit.
album landed her the Super Bowl gig. She wouldn't have played the Super Bowl if the album wasn't that huge.
No, they played she played in the Super Bowl because of her earlier music and how huge that was. Wait, you don't think that her past
You don't
success
get
would lead
to
her
play
to...
the Super Bowl because you're a legacy act.
Well, sometimes you do, right?
No. The Super Bowl is all about fucking... So the halftime show at the Super Bowl is to put something in there for all the kids and the girlfriends and wives that don't give a flying fuck about football, but are dragged into watching it because of their fucking husbands. That's what the halftime show is for. So they're always trying to throw the hot button acts like Coldplay and Beyonce, and... So it gives them a little fucking tidbit of, oh, hey, I know this. And, in the fucking 3 hours of, oh, first down, oh, there's a flag on the play, there's intentional grounding. Oh, the lineman, yeah.
But it's
That's
just
what the
like
fucking Super
the
Bowl
band Fun with We Are Young. They didn't get popular until the Super Bowl as well
Yeah,
as...
they got popular 6 months
Glee.
before that thanks to Glee, bud.
I don't know. I think
Fun
the
is another
Super
band,
Bowl
I think.
only further boosted their popularity. And that's how I feel
And
about
Fun-
Lady
Fun
Gaga
played
with
Super Bowl?
Joanne.
Huh? No, Fun didn't play the Super Bowl. The album or the song was on. Okay, so the long and the short of it is the song got popular, and the reason that Josh thinks that is because the song got popular on Glee that summer. It was used on an advertisement in the Super Bowl because it was popular on Glee. Buckley fucked that up in a video talking about the song's popularity retrospectively by saying that it was played on the Super Bowl and then was on Glee. It was on Glee months before it was on the Super Bowl, and it's a great example of a song getting big because of Glee. Really called the Glee effect.
Glee was really unique in that, where it had the chance to.
These are things that you would. Yeah, Glee was. I don't love Glee, but it was unique in the sense of a cultural phenomenon. But these are the things that you know when you're kind of a music guy, and Buckley is not a music guy. He's someone who worked in the music industry, who made jokes about music and wasn't going to go into the nuances like I am, because it's not super duper interesting to explain things like this.
Okay, so back to Chromatica.
Super Bowl halftime show is for the girlfriends and kids and everyone else who are made to watch the whole fucking 3 hours.
Back to Chromatica, though.
Let's.
Going back to what I was saying about Lady Gaga's music, though, 2011, Born This Way. Born This Way, the title track was 4 minutes 20 seconds. Judas was 4 minutes. Bad Kids, 3 minutes 50 seconds. You and I, 5 minutes.
Wow.
Edge of Glory, 5 minutes 21 seconds.
Yeah, her songs were way too long. That might be the problem, right?
Fuck's sake, no.
Oh,
So
it's better if she keeps her songs
Lady
short,
Gaga, this
short and
album
sweet.
is her most corporately influenced album she's ever done, by far.
Yeah.
Could not have worked with 5 years ago. Is all I'm saying.
one thing that comes up in the album cycle is a music video. What about the music video for 911? Do you think that had a little?
Arguably makes me more pissed off at the Blackpink song, because 9/11 is like one of the only good songs on this entire goddamn album. You know, that's not true. There's a good amount of good songs. It's the only good song that feels like a Lady Gaga song and not like something that was written by some corporate studio hack.
I don't know. I didn't get much from it. I thought that would be
really
like the
enjoyed
worst
the video
song.
for 911.
I thought that would be the worst song on the album. Then I heard
I
Babylon,
think it's the most
and Babylon was just terrible.
It's the most free of corporate stink. That's my problem with the album. Everything on it feels like it's like weighed down by this feeling of abuse.
Lady Gaga has been corporate since like she debuted
No,
with Poker Face.
Really. That's my point. I just named off 5 minute long club tracks. Those don't exist.
A song like doesn't make it not corporate, dude.
It's a good start, because if you
first started,
those songs would not be 5 minutes long.
When she first started out, she said she was playing the game to get famous, and once she got famous and her fame was already there, she was going to do what she wanted. Hence the meat dress and the coming out of an egg and all that shit, because she was doing what she wanted because she had the clout to do so. What's probably happening now is because she hasn't been in the spotlight for so long, she's probably putting out this is my conjecture, she's putting out an album to kind of appease to the corporate overlord so she can then, again, do what she wants.
And it didn't really work.
Well, your argument for why this album is good is because it may or may not lead to a better album down the road, because this is meant to appease the corporate overlords.
No, I'm just trying to justify, your rationale for why this is a more corporate sounding album.
I know why she probably would have made an album like this. It's because her fame is at a relative low point. It's because she hasn't done anything that's put her directly into the spotlight in the last 3 or 4 years. You can see logically why she did it. That doesn't mean that it logically makes a better album.
I don't know. I think it makes for a much better album than her most personal album yet. I don't care if it's corporate or not.
And are judging based off of a Super Bowl show, as you pointed out.
I don't care.
And passively know about John Wayne.
After that fucking...
Let's move past that. We're talking about Chromatica now.
Yeah.
How did you guys like the music video?
I thought it was bringing back the weirdness of Lady Gaga music videos where she dresses up in weird,
when I first saw it, I'm like, okay, this is fucking weird. There's like the dude banging his head, and I was just flying up in the sky, and there's the dude on the horse. But then at the end, it was like, holy fuck, it all makes sense now.
It still didn't make sense to me. I had to look up some shit to understand what the fuck that even meant.
Essentially, all the shit that she was seeing was hallucinations of everything that had happened in reality.
I think why
was the guy banging his head? Was he banging his head because he listened to the entirety of Joanne and was like, oh shit.
For fuck's sake, enough about Joanne. Leave it alone, man. You're beating a dead horse now.
Cowboy.
We also talk about Joanne. I'll argue about that album all night long.
So let's say
Yeah,
let's
a lot more
save
to say about it.
let's table Joanne, and let's agree that we can come back to Joanne at a later date.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll,
5-year
we'll
anniversary
review
in 5
we'll
years, or
review
in,
that album
5
at
months.
some point in time. It'll be fun.
Cool.
We'll have a grand old
5-year
fucking
anniversary here in a couple months.
The music video for 911 because it also tied into the themes of anxiety and almost like PTSD.
time. Yeah.
Which is what the song's about.
Like I said, I like the video. The video is one of the most creative parts of this entire album. It was also the only one of the 3 videos that got released I actually enjoy. I guess it's 4 now because of Stupid Love, huh?
I don't know.
I think that was the first one that came out.
I like the song before,
Oh, no,
Alice.
I'm
Alice
pretty
sounded
sure it
really
was
good.
The most recent one, wasn't it?
I'm just gonna say I liked Alice when I heard it.
That was a good one. That was like a self-reflection about looking for, Wonderland or true love. I would assume.
But I like the chorus. I like the
Love,
beats.
Sour Candy,
I
Rain
thought the
on
lyrics
Me.
weren't too bad. I didn't really
Sour
focus
Candy.
on-
That's kind of like a accept me for who I am despite my flaws.
Yeah.
Which
and-
again, it feels so corporate and fake. It feels like Born This Way too. If Born This Way was written by a 40-year-old man.
Yeah, it's basically Lady Gaga's Swish Swish.
Stupid
is
Love,
what I
Sour
would
Candy,
argue.
Rain on Me, 9/11. So that's 4 videos, right? Am I missing one?
I didn't mind
think
Stupid
that's all of
Love.
them.
It definitely sounded like a Lady Gaga song, but it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, like the weird little vocal in the background. That was kind of weird.
Yeah, there are points in time where Lady Gaga's album uses a lot of the remixed, let's say, Kiara's Gold vocals, where it's unintelligible
Fucking
nonsense
Moon
and it's
in
like
Babylon.
That's
Where
kind of
it's
an out of
just like-
nowhere reference and not the first.
But
not the first
where
song
it
to do.
where you where you sing vocals and then
He's
they
talking
get
about chopped
cut,
and remixed
chopped
vocals.
up and remixed and
Yeah, that's not what she did there.
Reworked.
She has plenty of remixes. That's not it. But did you guys hear the loon in fucking Babylon at the end?
Yeah, it kind of gave me a.
I
Kinda
barely
gave me good
remember
Rain vibes.
Babylon because it was so bad. What a way to
Yeah,
end an album, man. Jesus Christ.
I think it was one of the better songs on the album, if I'm being honest.
Really?
It 911 and Rain on Me are probably my favorite from the album. But again, statistically, I have some pretty serious fucking problems with Rain on Me, as I think I've made it clear.
Right.
Ariana
I
Grande.
like the Plastic Doll and Free Woman too. They're just
Free Woman
they're
was
catchy.
alright.
I mean, the lyrics are the standard female empowerment, accept me for me. I don't need a man, but they're
I think
I've heard
Free
plenty of those
Woman
songs
was,
that I've heard better from Lady Gaga, so it's
But
hard to justify even listening to it.
I looked up
I'm just a Gaga fan in
the
general,
story
so-
behind Free Woman, and Lady Gaga said that it was about her standing up against one of the producers who sexually assaulted her. But when I looked at the lyrics, I didn't really see anything like that. It didn't read like that at all.
I know for a fact that her song "Swine" off of Art Pop was about that. I
Oh.
don't think she would rehash that. I'm wondering.
She did double dip it.
Yeah, I don't think.
She just
especially
kind of doubled
something-
down and then took out
I'll
any
back it
lyrics.
up.
Was like,
She double dipped it.
All right, fair
she
enough.
double dipped that chip. Don't double dip a chip, you prick.
But if we're being honest, again, that's a decent topic to double dip on, and it
Fair
doesn't
enough.
sound corporate and fake like 90% of the rest of the album.
Like Plastic Doll or Replay.
Hey, I really enjoyed Plastic Doll.
Rain on Me, or fucking Sour Candy, or Plastic Doll, or Enigma, or
Or any of the
In-
interludes, or because I thought the
Interludes don't sound
interludes
corporate
sounded
fake,
pretty good.
She did a good job of going toe to toe with Ariana Grande too. I feel like
Ariana Grande didn't really get much of a hook, or much of
Again,
a verse or anything.
it's at certain points it's hard to tell the two apart.
Yeah,
because
that's
they're both
why
so
it's one of my
vocally
least favorite
processed,
songs.
Because it's a studio creation. It's
Yeah,
designed and built to get airplay, and that's why it's so short. So it can get airplay on streaming, it can get airplay on radio, and it can get airplay on TikTok.
And it fucking worked for a couple months, and then it
And
fucked
the fact
off.
it worked doesn't make it a good song.
Well, yeah, obviously. That's why it didn't
Uptown
stay
Road
long in the
was-
charts, right?
Old Town Road managed to hang on to be the longest song on the charts in Billboard history just through a trickle-down release of remixes and albums and writing a controversy. That doesn't
Fucking
make it
catchy.
a good
It's
song.
fucking catchy, not gonna lie.
I never
Actually,
heard
it
that
is
song,
not
so
good.
I'm one of the lucky
Yeah,
ones.
duh.
Barbie Doll and fucking the Baja Men, Who Let the Dogs Out are catchy songs. That doesn't make either of them good. And
Don't
I
forget
feel that
Chumbawamba.
can also be said for Sour Candy and fucking Rain on Me. Rain on Me was a song of the summer, but that does not make it a good song.
It's an interesting tidbit on there. They played it live at some award show, and they actually
VMAs, probably. If we're
Oh yeah, I
thinking
think that's what it
one.
was. They swapped, and Gaga actually took the higher vocal line because Grande was actually struggling with it live.
Wow.
Yeah, because Gaga's not, not Gaga, because Grande is not that great of a singer live.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Gaga always sings live, and that's one of the reasons why I admire her. Is she's a fucking performer. When she played live, she had 3 wardrobe changes that took less than 2 minutes apiece.
Yeah, Ariana Grande isn't a performer. She's just a halfway decent singer.
Like I
So
said, I don't have anything against Lady Gaga. If anything, I'm very fond of her music. I just feel this was not her best work, and I feel like
get ready to be fucking
creatively-
panned by the monsters. I'm gonna send them all your way,
creatively,
buddy.
Creatively, it's a complete and total mess.
I don't think it's a mess. I
I'm
think
biased
it's just.
because I've been a fan of her since she started.
I'm unbiased,
her
and I'm
music.
saying this
I'm just not a
this
fan.
album's good.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I wouldn't go so far as to call myself a monster, but I am a fan.
I'm not a fan, and I like
I
this.
just like most of her music, but that's, again, I wouldn't call myself a fan.
Unlike
I
that other
like
album I
most
listened to,
of-
what was it? The Smashing Pumpkins album, Adore. I didn't even have to play any video games or do something else while listening to it. I just focused on the album, and lo and behold, I kind of liked it.
Weird random
Yeah.
callback.
Yeah, but
Hey, where you going with
I
this?
just want to say I didn't need to try to entertain myself while listening to what would be considered entertainment. Is it corporate? Yeah, but what isn't these days? You could basically make an argument
Isn't
that
these days?
anything
Plenty
is.
of indie albums, plenty of rock albums, plenty of underground albums. There are punk bands that are most definitely not corporate with several thousand fans that aren't corporate. We've got a fucking musician on this podcast who releases professionally recorded music who is not fucking corporate. I used to play bar shows, and I have never been what anyone would consider corporate. You can do music without being corporate.
I am more than willing to sell
Well.
out. Just putting that out there, but I am not corporate right now.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, smartass.
Don't be corporate, kids.
The point being,
Or be corporate,
Point
because
being,
you'll make a
you-
dickload of money.
That's the whole point.
Yeah.
again, making money. We're not here to talk about whether or not the album was successful. We're not here to talk about whether or not the album made money. We're here to talk about whether or not we feel the album was good. And in this case, I feel we all agree it was at least on some level good. So we're pretty much just discussing whether or not we think it's her best.
I don't know if it is her best because I haven't listened to enough of the Gaga-ness. I'll say it's better than Joanne because you know why. And I'll
Because
say
you
it's
don't
better
like Million
than...
Reasons.
And I'll basically say that's better than Born This Way and everything before that. Not because the songwriting is better.
Everything
I definitely
before that
feel...
in terms of Born This Way and Fame Monster.
No, I
that's
mean-
all that came before it.
Yeah, I mean, like, the songwriting in albums such as Born This Way, The Fame Monster, and The Fame all are a lot better than what's on Chromatica, but the production doesn't hold up for me. So
Yeah, but the Fame Monster is just an extended version of the Fame, and it's generally the version that people talk about.
right, okay,
Technically,
Then-
the Fame Monster is the EP. It's a Fame Monster EP that has Bad Romance, Paparazzi, Telephone.
Fame, but with extra songs added on. Like I said, it's
Then-
the
Right,
extended version of
right.
the Fame.
Later on, she released a deluxe version of the Fame that contained the Fame Monster on a second disc. But
Yeah, and then
technically,
they
it was
released-
a separate E EP.
Then they released The Fame Monster, which had a deluxe version as well.
Which,
That's what I just said.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but at this point, we're splitting such fine hairs. I
Yeah,
feel
we're-
like it's fine to call the Fame Monster an extended version of the Fame.
Yeah, it's
But-
same recording sessions, or it happened close to it. It's like Load and Reload for Metallica. Technically, they're separate albums, but they were recorded so close together that they might as well be considered the same album.
Yeah.
Or in a lot of cases, it's literally the same song. Same build, even just copied over.
All I'm saying is this, that if the Fame Monster or the Fame or whatever the fuck and Born This Way all had the production that albums like Chromatica and Pop Art had, then they would be like the best Lady Gaga albums to me, no doubt. But
also have to consider those
Chromatica,
albums
art
came out
pop,
12
not
years ago.
art, or it's art pop, not pop art.
sorry,
Second of all,
art pop. Fuck.
Second of all, I'm still gonna say, as far as Lady Gaga album goes, I feel Joanne was better creatively. I feel The Fame Monster and Born This Way were both produced better in terms of production.
No,
Chromatica
they sounded
has
like shit.
nothing for me to offer on this album other than the radio singles, which weren't that strong. Again, other than Rain on Me, which still feels shallow compared to a lot of her other songs.
You can't say that the production off Chromatica was like bad or anything.
But it's not great. It's just
Bubblegum produced. I mean, it's
fantastic. It sounds
it's
great.
like a McDonald's hamburger. It's not great, but it's consistent.
I think it's top notch for Lady Gaga.
If this is a McDonald's hamburger, then fucking art pop would probably be like a gourmet $20 to $30 burger from some high-end ritzy place, and fucking the Fame Monster would be like Red Robin.
Red Robin.
Joanne is
Yum.
something that you would get from like a street vendor.
Like an Iraqi food cart or something.
Joanne is like from the Joanne is like an artisan crafted, ridiculously expensive burger from like a super great restaurant.
Or it could be like an artistic craft of a homeless man
on that one, but
sticking his fingers up his
We've already
asshole
established
and,
how we disagree on the album,
right?
and
And I'm
painting
not
the
comparing
canvas
Joanne
in
here.
his
I'm
own
explicitly
poop.
avoiding
So.
Joanne because I don't want to get him started on Million Reasons again.
Why would you say the name? Why would you say the name?
Why? Why?
Okay, so going back to my comparison, I feel that Chromatica is fine for what it offers, but really, really, really is shallow compared to everything else she's released. Pun intended.
More shallow than shallow, I guess.
Yeah.
Did you guys see her play that live at the Oscars with Bradley Cooper? Holy fuck!
I didn't watch that either.
I'm gonna be honest. I think that some of the songs from A Star Is Born are more solid than Chromatica.
I didn't watch A Star Is Born,
Yeah,
so
I haven't seen it either.
yeah. Clearly,
just
Conquest
being-
has put a lot of con in his mind.
What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
I don't know. A lot of bad stuff, I mean.
Final thoughts, gentlemen.
This
Final
album
thoughts,
is good.
the
I give it a
album is-
7.
Album's professionally done. I like the radio singles. The album isn't amazing. I don't think it stacks up to the rest of her work. I feel that, again, large picture, it's a great album, but every Lady Gaga album is a great album, so that's not necessarily saying much. And I still give it a solid, like, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 as well, but I'm going to give it a much more nuanced 7 out of 10.
All right. And Cap?
To me, this album blends perfectly the introspective personal lyrics of Joanne with the catchy, interesting music of art pop and the albums that came before it. Although there are a few missteps towards the end, the album is solid beginning to end to me. An emotional guest appearance from Elton John on Sign From Above helps usher in the last few more somber tracks. Once again, Gaga reinvents herself and does a damn good job of it. Praise Gaga, 9 out of 10.
And so for those of us who didn't pre-write our final thoughts, whether or not things on the argument changed our thoughts, how would you give it in terms of on the spot?
Personally on the spot, it's still 9 out of 10.
7 out of
What are
10.
your thoughts on the spot, though? Because that was obviously pre-written.
Yeah, I mean, I still feel the same. I still feel like, even though there's clearly a corporate hand in the music side of it and just the melodies and stuff, I feel like the lyrics truthfully are coming from the heart, and she's still writing from the same emotional place. From Joanne, I feel like that Blood Pop producer had a lot to do with like the musical stylings, because he produced like all but one track, I think. But I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Well, regardless of what anyone says, I liked Chromatica, and it made me very happy. Made me extremely happy.
Happy.
Yeah.
Did it give you a sense of euphoria?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
God damn it.
I stole your bit,
Euphoria,
Captain. How'd you
gentlemen.
like that? Okay, so we're getting into Euphoria now, I guess.
Yes, we are.
Now.
Yes,
Is that
yes,
what that means?
indeedy. That's the name of a Pokemon, indeedy. Cappy, this is your suggestion, your second one. You want to tell us what this is?
Euphoria is an HBO miniseries based off an Israeli miniseries with Drake as an executive producer. Main character her name is Rue, played by Zendaya. Maud Apatow plays Lexi, who is Judd Apatow's daughter, strangely enough. And it's basically Degrassi mixed with Shameless. It follows the girl Rue gives a quick backstory of her. She was born right after 9/11. So let's have a moment of silence. 9/11. Never forget.
The Lady Gaga song, 9/11.
Never forget.
Never forget.
And then it follows her in her childhood. Her dad has an illness. She goes through diagnosed depression. She has various mental issues that her parents are too busy
and
to
like
whatever
breathing
to
problems
see.
Too. Like she has trouble breathing, and she takes medication.
Yep, she turns to the bottle and the pill bottle, and overdoses and joins Narcotics Anonymous.
Narconon.
And Narconon, and
but she stays an addict.
Yeah, and then the show follows her in high school and the defining lives of a couple of her classmates.
Does she take like Xanax or was it Vicodin? I forgot which one.
See, oxycodone, I believe.
Oxycodone, Vicodin?
Why would it be Vicodin?
Yeah.
Well, Vicodin's Lortabs, but they stopped making those. It's Norco now.
Norcona, yeah. And she takes it, and then she just
oxys.
And then she takes it to get high, and then when the high doesn't work, she turns to more stronger drugs.
Heroin.
Like heroin. Yes, my favorite drug of all time.
Oxycontin is heroin in a pill form. But anyways, now that Cap gave like the entire plot of half the episode.
Or the entire plot of the entire show.
Let's
basically
roll back a couple steps. Drake produced this. This is the first time.
You mean the Drake?
That wasn't paying attention.
They used to call me on my cell phone, Drake.
This explains a lot because he's a fucking pedophile. No fucking wonder he produced this show. Jesus Christ, I wish I had looked that up because god damn, that explains a lot.
I mean, it was in the credits, in the opening credits.
He is a pedophile, isn't he?
Like I
Drake.
read the opening credits. I don't care if some studio hack's daughter played this character, if Zendaya played another character. If they're famous enough for me to recognize them, I recognize them, and if not, then I don't.
He groomed poor Billie Eilish.
I just want to preface. I'm going to go stop short of calling this trigger warning, because I just like that term, because it implies an inherent weakness, which is not the case. But,
well, you think SJWs are watching our shit?
Yeah, well...
They probably are, but...
Just because something bothers you doesn't make you weak. Anyway, we'll be discussing rape, sex, drug use, and pedophilia, most likely. So if you have any aversions to any of these things, I would suggest you skip to the end.
So now that you've gotten your trigger warning out of the way, what the fuck? Drake's a pedophile. Why did he produce this shit?
Because he's a pedophile. Duh.
Yeah,
you just answered your question.
Yeah, but it pisses me off. Like,
for me, I didn't even know Drake produced it. I was like, jeez. But
I know he produced it. I explained
now you guys tell me Drake produced it, and I'm like, oh, okay, now I see.
Well, if only he would have brought Josh with him.
Oh, Drake Bell, you're talking about. Or you? Damn, I wish he was talking about me.
I despise Drake as a person. I cannot even begin to describe how much.
He started from the bottom. Now he's here.
Started from the middle class. He had a better fucking childhood than I did. I don't want
to
hear
no fucking the bottom
shit.
He was on Degrassi when he was like fucking 15.
He's fucking the bottom of underage kids.
I grew up poor trash in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, America. I've had harder days than he's had entire goddamn months. That man does not fucking know what bottom looks like.
Yeah.
He doesn't even know what Canadian bottom looks like. That dude is middle class Canadian at best.
I was more bottom tier Canadian than Drake was.
Like, yeah, he only had the one parent, but like one parent making a teacher's wage in Canada is like fucking upper middle class income in America.
I went to some bad schools when I was a kid. Drake doesn't know.
Did they only have one computer?
Dude, your bad school is top the best school in my goddamn state.
Well, yeah, of course. I'm just saying that I have a very white privileged life, and even I live a much more difficult life than Drake did when he was my age.
That's my fucking point.
Yeah.
That dude, and he fucking is a creep. He was hitting on Billie Eilish, his fucking girlfriend. He waited until she turned 18 to start dating her. He was fucking hitting on Billie Eilish. He was sliding into Millie Bobby Brown's DMs when she was like 13.
Yeah, he's a sick fuck.
And that explains why he fucking funded this show, because this show is teen
and
drama.
The worst part is my country of Canada, they love him out here. They love him. They think that, like, when the Raptors won and shit, he was like there, and people were like, yeah, Drake supports the Toronto Raptors, we love him. And it's like, fuck off. But then again, like, 6ix9ine had a #1 hit single in, like, for one whole week, and he's known as a pedophile to everyone. So I guess everyone in Canada and the U.S. just loves pedophiles.
We just go through one episode of this without talking about pedophiles.
You bring up Drake. This is on you, bud.
Yeah.
Yeah, me there. Back to the show.
You brought it on
I feel like the show
yourself.
isn't for me. I have absolutely nothing in common with any of these characters, but I still feel compelled to watch. I mean, I wouldn't call it. I wouldn't call it hate watching, but I mean, cringe watching might be closer.
I wouldn't watch it, and I wasn't interested in what was happening. It was boring.
A fucking train wreck. I will give you that. Holy fuck.
You can't look away because it's a fucking teen drama. That's how all teen dramas are. That's how Pretty Little Liars was. That's how every single teen drama is like this.
Yeah, basically, every single teen drama is just like this fucking shit.
But it's a teen drama on, dare I say, heroin.
Yeah, ha ha ha.
Yeah, that appeals to me. Okay, I love this show. 10 out of 10.
You think that you're okay. As far as things I liked about the show,
yeah, let's talk about the positives.
The photography was good. All the actors were solid. I mean, they were all way too old for their roles, but
I mean, they would have to be.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but we're talking just a bunch of 21-year-olds playing 15-year-olds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a little bit of Dawson casting isn't.
Yeah. I don't know. The cinematography was good. Like I said, the performances were good. I really, really liked Hunter Schafer, the trainee, and I really, really liked Zendaya's part. But Zendaya, we already knew was a good actress, and the trainee. Oh, I mean, I'm pretty. As far as I'm aware, this is the first acting role, but I'll still say she.
Just call her transgendered, please. Call them transgendered. That's much nicer.
The actor for
math.
The actor is in fact transgender. They were born male, and they.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
Yes, they are in fact transgendered IRL, as you kids would say.
Transgendered in real life. Great.
So, she is a tranny, and she is
transgendered.
She's a very good actress. I'm calling her by her preferred pronoun, and I'm referring to her respectfully as a woman. I don't think it matters whether or not I use the shorthand for transgender or not. I'm not saying transgendered every time I say the word transgendered. I'm just gonna say trans.
Just say trans. Would that be a successful or acceptable?
Fine.
Yeah.
I'll say trans. I just am not gonna say fucking transgendered every time I say the word, because transgendered is a mouthful and transgendered sounds stupid.
Too many syllables. Let's stick with
tranny is like is basically like the N-word to transgendered and trans people.
Driving my car.
Suck it up, Buttercup. I've been called a redskin by a cop, so I don't really care.
There goes some of the Gaga fans who were watching this shit.
So I have a bone to pick with this. Let me get on my soapbox here for a second.
Go ahead.
In the beginning, it shows Rue as a child, and like, I forget. I think they had diagnosed her with ADD or something, and instead of taking the time to provide her with the proper cognitive behavioral therapies, they just fucking threw pills at her. Like, here you go, take this, take a Ritalin, take Adderall, take all this. Which actually fucking happens all the time. And it's awful that they give these kids basically medical grade fucking meth, which is potentially life-altering medication just because they have ADD, instead of taking the time to actually address their needs.
Good parenting. That's really good parenting. Like, well fucking done, guys. Is this based off a true story by any chance? Do you know?
I don't think it's based off of a true story.
Okay,
but
good.
That doesn't mean that it can't happen. I feel like these are all. It's a slice of life teen drama, essentially.
Yeah, slice of life.
Life.
Just like with fucking anime. There's an anime reference too. They had a scene where a guy just went into the room and girls called him a pervert. You see a lot of that in the anime.
I don't think that's meant to reference anime.
Yeah.
It shows the
Does
dangers
Drake
of
watch
helicopter
anime
parents.
or I don't know.
Yeah, it shows the dangers of helicopter parents who pretend like they give a shit, but they don't actually pay attention to obvious signs of depression and drug abuse. Like, fucking, like, really?
Yeah.
Which also happens all the fucking time in real life, because parents want the title of parent and want to do the bare minimum, but when it comes to actually giving a shit about their kids, that's where they draw the line.
I just want to say one positive thing that I liked about this show, and that's kind of like some of the colorful scenes where they have like people in like a red room and then there's some blue lighting. I thought that looked cool.
Oh, cinematography.
Yeah, they definitely
the
used the
cinematography was cool.
cinematography to,
I also like some of the camera shots and how they try to have some sort of extra meaning towards some of the shots. I also liked where Zendaya's character, she took like a drug to snort and then they made the room kind of spin around and it was like she was just trying to stay on the floor while it was spinning around for her or something. Like, you know, when she was walking on the wall and then got on the ceiling, then got on the wall again and then back on the floor. I thought that was kind of cool.
This is very well produced.
Yeah.
Which, again, you know, like I said, the cinematography, the score, the story is well written. It's just not my kind of story. The performances were all really good.
The story is just really generic. The idea itself is extremely generic, and they didn't really do much to, like...
How is it generic? Name another show that is a teen drama that focuses on modern issues like drug abuse.
13 Reasons Why?
So doesn't focus on drug abuse, not in the sense that this show does.
I don't know, but it's also a teen drama. I just throw them all
this
in the same fucking
13
bag.
Reasons Why on fucking coke.
Yeah, really? I heard 13 Reasons Why was already a teen drama that's on coke.
No,
but the fact that teen dramas exist, that's not what I'm asking. I'm asking you for a teen drama that shows drug abuse in such a realistic fashion as this show.
I don't know, I'm sure they exist. I don't go on my way to watch this shit.
Okay, but you're making presumptions. You're calling it or writing in generic based on the assumption that this must already exist. That's South Park did it, or that's Simpsons did it level of presumptions.
I guess.
It actually showed consequences and an aftermath to the drug abuse. It wasn't like, oh no, she overdosed. Okay, she was in the hospital for a day. Now she's fine. Yay! She's not an addict anymore.
Something that we see in television, which is why I feel the writing is so good.
It's good for a teen drama.
Okay, but again, saying good for a teen drama is really condescending.
Yeah.
The only other show I really feel like
motherfucker.
Portrayed drug abuse this well was House, with his narcotic addiction.
Yeah. That's really the only other example that there is out there as far as American television goes.
Even a show like Shameless, where it has chronic drug, it doesn't really show like the global side effects that it has.
I mean, Breaking Bad kind of touched on it, but it touched on it in a tertiary way, and it didn't really ever tackle it head on in the way that this show does. I don't know, like I said, I feel just calling it good for a teen drama feels condescending.
Oh, I guess that's condescending, but
make it bad.
Like I said, I am a condescending motherfucker most of the time, so.
Which is kind of ironic when you like anime.
I'm condescending to anime too. Like, there's only like a small handful of them I like, where the rest of them are just.
Are you a contrarian, or are you like this? This brings back the issue of you're kind of just being.
I'm one of those
contrarian for the sake of being a contrarian.
What do you call a person who abuses themselves for the sake of abusing themselves or something?
Masochist?
Huh?
Even masochists can see
yeah,
quality.
I'm a masochist. That's what I am.
Masochists can still see quality, though.
Yeah, I saw some quality. I see quality in everything. Well, except for some things.
Quality. The character development was quality too. Each character felt like their own person. Like Rue was the girl.
I like the scene where the. Sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah, Rue was the neglected girl with the first world problems. There was the poor man with the obvious scar on his head. You want to know more about that scar, and they don't even mention it, which just he turned out to be a drug dealer with a heart of gold. And then there is the drug lord little kid. I think his name is Ashtray, but I could be wrong on that
Yeah,
one.
like the drug lord little kid. It was like, yep, I'm not surprised that little kids can be drug dealers too. I mean, that a lot of people like to believe, oh, it's just those 30, 40, 50-year-old men who like to deal drugs to people and
Well, I mean,
they're
that's what
so
drug
evil,
dealers do.
but like, yeah, but little kids, they'll get little kids to deal drugs to people as well. That's how they
And
get
then
you. I mean, they use
pedophilia
kids for
started
war.
12 minutes in, which shows the dangers of social media. You never know who's on the other side.
Yeah, the girl met the old guy, but she was dressed up as like a hooker and wanted to get fucked anyways, didn't she?
Ooh, that's
What
a
the
that's
fuck,
a
dude?
I thought she was a hooker.
yeah. No,
She was like,
no,
oh, I
no.
feel like being a hooker.
No,
Dude,
no, you can't say that.
No. No.
But when the guy put his fingers in her
No.
mouth, if she wasn't okay with it, should she have just? She could
Dude,
just
what
left,
do you?
right?
Do you not understand how the age of majority works?
I don't know. It's
No.
I got like a hooker vibe from her.
Jesus Christ.
I thought
No.
that's what they were going for.
You explain it.
What this
I
reminds
missed
me
the
of?
point, I
This
guess.
reminds me of David Schwimmer's movie Trust. David Schwimmer from Friends directed a movie about
Say,
a
that's-
teenage girl being targeted.
It's fucking Ross from Friends.
Yes, Ross from Friends. David Schwimmer directed directed a movie called Trust. The movie is about a teenage girl who gets lured in by a sexual predator who abuses her. It was an example in the documentary. This film is not yet rated, and it's an example of a film that was originally going to be given an NC-17 because it was considered too graphic when similar films were given R ratings. It almost didn't get a widespread theatrical release. I feel it's a very powerful movie. I don't know if I would say it's an amazing movie. It's a very uncomfortable movie based on the topics. I watched it after I watched This Film Was Not Yet Rated, and it is a very powerful movie. And I got that kind of vibes all throughout that whole scene in Euphoria because it is absolutely
Horrifying.
unsettling.
It's horrifying
And
to
yeah,
watch.
just because the way someone dresses does not mean that they're quote unquote asking for it. That is like
No, I wasn't saying that. I
slut-shaming
just
level
thought
talking.
she was just doing her usual work of meeting up old guys so that she could make money off
I'm
them in
I
return
could be
for sexual
overstepping here.
favors.
He is a child, though.
I'm overstepping
Yeah.
here. But
I figured she was a
it's been
child.
established that this character is trans. We see them taking what's presumably hormone replacement therapy pills.
Which is a whole other issue with transgender people. They're absolutely abused as a people. They're abused on a scale that is just completely unheard of. Altar boys don't get raped as much as trans people do, and the idea of her turning to that kind of thing is just absolutely horrifying and skin crawling.
In the same vein, there's the good old-fashioned slut-shaming / revenge porn / boys will be boys double standard with them passing around that video of the girl sex tape.
Yeah, which is pretty
I'm gonna be honest, this
realistic.
entire show just kind of made me feel slightly uncomfortable. It's not really a show that's meant for me anyways, and the topics at hand are really touchy, and it just kind of made me feel uncomfortable.
It's the type of shit that I
Okay.
wouldn't touch with a 10-foot covered pole.
Like I said before, it's like
covered pole when we're talking about pedophilia.
Okay,
it feels
sorry.
like a party you're not invited to, but
I-
you're
I
there
won't-
anyway.
I won't touch it with a 10-foot pole that was shoved up
It doesn't feel like a party I'm not invited
Drake's
to.
ass.
It feels like one of those not parties, but when you know a close gathering of friends and you're like secondarily attached to that friend group and you show up and everything's really weird and then they start breaking out the hard shit and you're the only person to not do it. That's how this feels.
Yep.
You feel
that's
uncomfortable and you feel like you should probably call the cops and you don't know what to do other than you want to get in your car and leave. But then you're afraid that's going to piss everyone else off, but you're also afraid your presence is pissing everyone else off. That's how this show feels.
yourself into the bushes like Homer Simpson and hope for everything to pass.
Yeah. Another thing
Another
I want.
thing-
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Josh.
All right. Yeah, another thing I wanted to mention about this show is that it is like an hour long, and it felt that time. And whenever shows feel a certain time, they're usually not good, in my opinion. Mainly because, mainly because like whenever I'm enjoying something, it usually feels short, and usually it's like short and sweet. But if I'm not enjoying something, it's because it's too long, and it drags on, and it just never seems to end. And I kind of wanted the show to end, but it just didn't. I don't know. I don't like the length. I think it's mainly the pacing or something. I'm not sure, but
The pacing was incredibly good. It kind of followed the Game of Thrones thing, where don't focus on one character for too long, and it kept jumping back and forth between different people.
well, Game of Thrones, the episodes in that felt short for me because I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the characters. I enjoyed the story. I guess that's my problem. If I'm not enjoying something, it drags on too long for me, and that's what the show did.
Awkward. It's awkward to watch, but like I said, I feel compelled to see how it goes.
I didn't really feel awkward when I watched it. I just felt kind of bored and was like, yeah, I could easily just turn this off and look for something else.
How did you feel bored? Okay. There's another thing I noticed with this, and it kind of exemplifies, is the dangers of porn. It's more obtainable than ever, and is often teenagers' first exposure to sex, due to abstinence-only education and the unwillingness of parents to actually teach sex ed. It leads to countless teens having the wrong idea of how sex works. With positions and the choking and.
It's real quick. I don't feel it's fair to put porn into a negative light, as I feel there's more on the fault of the sex education, as you mentioned, and I feel it is the fault of parents for not discussing these types of things.
It kind of makes me think.
Shit.
It makes me think of
porn is because of their own fault.
Anyways,
the fault of others. Sorry, continue.
No, I just wanted to say, when I was thinking about when you guys were mentioning like porn, it was shown in like the bad ways, and no show should show porn in like a negative light, except for cyber seduction, because it's funny. I just wanted to say that. Also, the choking part kind of reminded me of Gian Gomeshi. I don't know why, I just did.
Okay.
Because you got in trouble for choking.
Yep. Choking a girl without her consent. But then she consented anyways, which reminded me of the cases being thrown out.
And it's kind of like desensitization and having the one-up each time and stay, like, I guess, like, through the pandemic, the number one, like, search term in porn was step-siblings.
Yeah, like, we needed another negative thing during the pandemic. Like, what the fuck, Captain?
Okay. Isn't that one of the most consistently top-rated searches in porn anyways? Let's be honest, it's not really fair to blame it on the pandemic, because this is one of those things that's been endemic of a larger issue for several years now.
Yeah.
I think we're just sexually repressed as a country on the whole.
Probably.
I'm sexually oppressed because I'm an incel.
Okay, then. But because people are sexually repressed, that causes them to find degeneracy, and that causes them to latch onto that degeneracy.
And that causes them to become the next Elliot Rodger.
Oh, that's again incels. That has nothing to do with what I said.
Man, this episode's really turned dark.
But in the scene where they're in the limo, there's an early appearance of Megan Thee Stallion.
Oh, goody, the WAP girl.
The song.
She's not just the WAP girl. I love Megan Thee Stallion. You watch your mouth.
The WAP girl.
The only lyric I was able to make out was "lick on my clit." I guess the song is called Lucky AF. So that's a fun little tidbit there.
That's even funnier than WAP.
I mean, I guess you could say WAP isn't outside of her wheelhouse. It's just, I think Nicki Minaj probably, or not Nicki Minaj, Cardi B.
Slurp it like it's pasta.
What about Girls in the Hood? She's had a lot of good songs. Y'all need to,
give it everything you got for this wet and gushy.
I think the song's hilarious. I think it would have done way better as a parody. It's not even a parody, like a comedy
I'm gonna
song.
say I agree. It should be a comedy song.
It's too over the top.
Yeah, it's over the top. It's bring a bucket and a mop. for this WAP.
Um, and speaking of wet-ass pussies, sex in the water is never a good idea. You're basically asking for a UTI or yeast infection, plus all of
Or
those...
chlorine infection.
Your doctor tells you not to. Your nurse tells you not to have sex in a pool.
Yes.
And then the guy gets pissed off because his girl is literally on another guy's penis, and he gets drunk and gets angry.
Just all that, like, pool water. I mean, pool water is not exactly known for being clean. Yeah.
And then he threatens the pedo victim girl, who I originally thought was a hooker until you guys teached me the ways of feminism.
Goddamn.
Well, basically, big tough guy Jock can dish it, but the second he was wrong, he throws a fucking tantrum like a child and throws out, lashes out at the most vulnerable person he perceives. The person who is most vulnerable to him, he just lashes out at them.
To be fair, that's like a perfect example of a lot of teenage guys. They're too stupid to understand like how to be consistent with their emotions. Like you said, they can dish it out, but they can't take it when shit hits the fan for them.
Right.
So I say that whole sequence was actually pretty perfect. And the fact that the girl went batshit crazy towards him and even went so far as to cut her own arm the way she did, I thought that was pretty accurate, especially with what happened to her and all that shit.
And then it turns out at the end, spoilers, that the guy that she was being abused by earlier in the episode was the douchey jock guy's father, which is one of the many aforementioned caveats to the anonymity of the internet.
Ooh, that's scary.
So on this dark note, final thoughts, gentlemen?
It was a good watch. It was an unpleasant watch.
It was not a good watch for me. It was boring, and I do not want to watch any more of it.
I don't think you could call this boring.
Well, aside from like a couple scenes, like especially with the girl explaining why she won't stop doing drugs when her friend came over and was like it. I like that.
Going back to the previous bit, would you say that you're being shallow in your tastes?
No, I'm not being shallow. It's just that, here's the thing. I say it's boring because it's boring to me. I'm not saying it's boring because it's a fact that it's boring. In fact, there are plenty of shows that I like, which if I showed you, you would probably say they're boring. And I would even go so far as to say that they're too boring for people to watch.
Like Knights and Magic?
No, not like Knights and Magic. But there's this anime called Bloom Into You, and despite how good I think it is, I also know that it's boring. And if
Bloom Into You, he's the one that likes the pretty stuff and likes to sing a song.
Going back to my question of,
but I'm
just incapable of seeing why it's boring, and I feel like
I just don't find it interesting to watch. That's what I mean when I say it's boring.
Well, I'm aware of what the word would mean in context. That doesn't mean that I understand and can make.
Keep using that word, and I don't think it means what you think it means.
I know exactly what it means because when I was watching the show, I literally wanted to do everything else but watch the show because
Because it made you uncomfortable?
No. Because I just didn't care what was happening on screen and I felt like my time was wasted. With the definition of entertainment, I was not entertained by this show. I give it a 4 out of 10. For me. It's got good things going for it, but I can't score it any higher. I want to give it a 5, but, the fact that it's, like, extremely disturbing and grotesque, and the fact that it was produced by Drake, of all people, led it to go down to a 4. So, that's my score.
Taint to it of sour candy.
It wasn't even sour candy, more like a old banana.
So you have a million reasons why you don't like them?
Nah, just one reason. I gave you the one reason. So, what about you? Your scores?
So, for me, as controversial as the subject matter is, it all has this, air of plausibility. The narrator is unreliable at best, but is yet endearing.
All the characters. That's another thing I forgot to mention. I'm kind of sick of all these, live action shows having to have a main character do their monologue thing. that goes on for the whole show. I'm kind of that's just not my type of show. I don't like
The
that
style?
I don't like
No,
that
I
style
think
very
you're-
much.
Yeah.
It gets on my nerves.
All the characters engage in morally questionable acts of varying degrees, but
They're
I feel like that
realistic
adds
acts,
further.
that's for sure.
I feel
Yeah.
like that adds further to their realness, though. They all feel like living, breathing
Yeah.
people. I feel myself watching not only to find out what happens, but it's like almost I want to know that everyone turns out okay. I mean, it's like I want to know that Ro turns out okay, that Jewel, like
For
I
me,
feel
I don't
compelled
care.
to know that everyone is okay.
You know, the reason
Yeah.
why entertainment exists is to take our minds off from, you know, what's happening in the real world, because the real world is fucked up and depressing and shit like that.
And
And
this is a
shows
slice
like
of
this-
life of that.
Yeah, this show, it just brings back those things, thinking, oh, this is what the real world is like. And I don't
Sure.
want to be a part of that.
For
So,
all that, I give it an
that's-
8 out of 10.
okay. I can see why you would give it an 8 out of 10, so...
What's that supposed to mean?
No,
Oh,
no, I'm
God,
not. That doesn't mean anything. It is of high quality, and a lot of people do agree. It's got good scores and shit. Like on a technical scale, this show is very well made, and it's professionally written.
It is hard to watch. Yeah. Me and my girlfriend agreed that we will be watching it separately because it is so difficult to watch.
I'm sure your girlfriend's good. Actually, watch Glee.
Nah, she's the one who actually watched this before me. She told me about it.
Oh, I see.
But this is like Degrassi for adults, I feel like.
Well, I
don't-
never watched
Degrassi
Degrassi,
was a
so
fucking Saturday morning cartoon compared to this shit.
Yeah, this makes Degrassi look like fucking Arthur.
Yeah, this Degrassi ain't shit compared to this.
Yeah, this show
So,
goes there.
Jesus Christ. Now that weight's been taken off our chest, I say we wrap up because
you didn't
I'm
give it a
actually not
score
doing-
though.
I did give
You
it
did.
a score.
Yeah, you
Seven
did.
and a half out of 10. Yes, I did. Okay, so now that it's my turn to pick for next week, I'm gonna bring in something special for our. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe that'll be our 11th episode.
No, this will be our 10th.
This episode that we're recording now is the 10th. The episode that I'm suggesting will be the 10th. The
No,
11th,
this
right?
is the 9th episode.
Yeah, this is the 9th episode.
Even better. I've got some very special stuff for our 10th episode.
I'm
'Cause We're gonna
scared.
talk about something that's actually fun for a change.
Oops.
We're gonna talk about Rock of Ages.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm excited. I love jukebox musicals. I especially love Rock of Ages, and more importantly, there's no rape in it.
Lovely.
No pedophilia, there's no depression. There's no anxiety. There's no killing each other. It's 100 minutes of fucking rock and roll 80s amazingness, and I absolutely love it. And I'm so happy that we're talking about something that isn't depressing.
Yep. This
Gotten that out of
was
the way.
the Depression Network.
Yeah,
I see the
now that-
connection between this show and
now that I've gotten that out of the way, the other thing that we're discussing is Pinkerton by Weezer, an album that has very heavy topics and is kind
Ooh,
of
Pinkerton.
It's his 25th anniversary. It's Pinkerton's 25th anniversary. So,
Ow.
all right.
album came out in 1996. How does that make you feel, Cap?
Say it ain't so.
1996. That's an
That
old
was
album.
It's either that one or Tupac's seminal album, and I would prefer Pinkerton because Pinkerton makes me feel happier because I like Pinkerton.
Good call.
Yeah.
call.
Pinkerton
All
came out
right,
September
well.
'96, and then of course Tupac is a very good artist in some senses, but I was not feeling G-Funk.
Yeah.
So after this goddamn show,
All right. Well, yeah.
Well, that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
so I did.
It
I was
is
about to
what it
listen to
is.
All Eyes on Me.
So
Because if we talked about Tupac, we'd have to talk about his death, and yeah, no, that
yeah,
was
it would
fun.
take like an hour long to talk about his death and
Dead.
shit, which is already
Well,
so
fun
fucking
fact
long.
fun fact about All Eyes on Me is that the recording session took place the week of my birthday,
Oh, nice.
rather the week of my birthday, 3 years before my birthday. Either way, yeah, we're not talking about that album because that one's depressing. So we're doing fucking Pinkerton, and we're doing a rock opera, boys.
I'm
We're
down.
doing a jukebox musical.
All right. So
I'm
stay
ready.
tuned for that, and Anything else you'd like to say?
Stay tuned for my novel forthcoming this year.
The novel that will never come?
The novel that never comes!
Yeah! Yeah!
Eventually, I'll have some content.
Gotta bring some light tone to this episode. So this has been Why We Shouldn't Do Podcasts. A more darker take.
You cut off the man spiel. Conquest.
Okay. I love when I get interrupted. Eventually, I'll have some content on the Stark Current Studios, so go subscribe to that. Micro documentaries on much less depressing topics than rape. I'll discuss movies that don't involve rape. I'll discuss media that doesn't involve pedophilia. So go subscribe there.
Guys, he doesn't like rape. Did you know that? He doesn't like it, so don't talk about it.
Or just talking about heavy shit.
Okay, so should I say my bit now, or?
Why is everything so heavy?
Holding on. Why is everything so heavy?
Why?
Why should we do podcasts?
Roll credits.
No. Fuck off. Yeah.
Roll credits.
Shut up. We're not. Stop saying that. I swear to God, I'm gonna
Roll credits.
kick you out. Okay, so, be sure to follow these two doofuses, and be sure to follow me on Twitter at MetaHuman72 and PPP_official, and be sure to
roll credits.
Shut up. Be sure to check out my Product Placement Paranoia YouTube channel, as well as Josh Reviews, Haverin, and other things. Cap, your turn.
Don't forget to go tweet at him. Again, that is MetaHuman72. Don't forget to go tweet at him. Roll credits.
He's not going. No one's going to do that because I'm going to cut all that shit out.
YouTube is Automatic Machines, and my forthcoming novel this year, the title is
nothing.
Roll
so,
credits.
Batman, your turn.
Oh, I get to plug my stuff again? Oh, joy. I've been Conquest. I have been wonderful for y'all. I am happy to announce, once again, go subscribe to Starground Studios.
All right, and that's all we have for today, so stay tuned for next episode.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
And same bat crazy bullshit. See ya!